Episode 1. The Day Everything Broke. Chapter 1. Breaking Point. His name was Mark. He was 26 years old. He lived in a small town in Ohio. The town was quiet. People knew each other. Life was simple, but Mark did not feel simple inside. Every morning, Mark woke up at 6 a.m. He went to work at a small factory. The job was hard, the pay was low, the room was loud and cold. Mark stood by the same machine every day. He pushed the same buttons, he lifted the same boxes. His back hurt, his hands were tired. But the worst part was not his body. The worst part was his heart. Mark once had dreams, big dreams. When he was in school, he wanted to be a photographer. He loved taking pictures of people, streets, and sunsets. He saved money to buy his first camera. He felt alive when he took photos. But life changed. His father got sick. The bills were high. Mark had to leave school and find a job fast. He told himself, "It's only for a short time." But short time became long years. Now Mark felt stuck. One cold Monday morning, Mark sat on the edge of his bed. The room was small. The walls were gray. His phone alarm was still ringing. He did not move. "I can't do this anymore," he said in a low voice. He stood up slowly. He looked in the mirror. His eyes were tired. His face looked older than his age. "Who am I now?" he asked himself. He went to work anyway. At the factory, Mark worked next to a man named Tom. Tom was older, maybe 50. He had worked there for 20 years. Tom never smiled. He never talked about dreams. He only talked about work and money. That day, Tom looked at Mark and said, "You look bad. You okay?" Mark forced a small smile. "Yeah, just tired." But inside, Mark felt empty. During lunch, Mark sat alone. He did not eat much. He looked at his phone. He saw old photos, photos of him with a camera, photos of sunsets, photos of people smiling. He felt something in his chest. Pain, regret, anger at himself. "What did I do with my life?" he thought. After work, Mark walked home. The sky was dark. The air was cold. His shoes were wet from the snow. When he reached his small apartment, he saw a letter on the floor. It was from the bank. His heart started to beat fast. He opened the letter with shaking hands. Final notice. Mark read the words again and again. "You have not paid your rent. You must leave the apartment in 2 weeks." Mark sat down on the floor. 2 weeks. No money, no savings, no plan. That night, Mark did not sleep. He lay on his bed and stared at the ceiling. His mind was loud. "I lost my dreams. Now I will lose my home," he said to himself. Tears came to his eyes. He did not stop them. This was the day everything broke. Chapter 2. Finding Small Lights. The next morning, Mark felt empty and heavy. He did not want to get out of bed, but he did. He washed his face with cold water and looked at himself again. "You must keep going," he said, but his voice was weak. At work, everything felt slower. The noise of the machines hurt his head. His hands moved, but his mind was far away. During the break, Tom sat next to him. "You look worse today," Tom said. Mark was quiet. Then he spoke. "I may lose my home." Tom looked at him. This time, He did not look cold. "Why?" asked Tom. "I can't pay the rent. I have no money, no savings." Tom was silent for a moment. Then he said, "I was there once, too." Mark looked at him. "You?" "Yes," said Tom. 10 years ago. I lost my job. My wife left. I slept in my car." Mark's eyes opened wide. "What did you do?" Tom took a slow breath. "I stopped lying to myself. I asked for help, and I started again. Small steps. Small steps." Those words stayed in Mark's head all day. After work, Mark did not go home. He walked through the town. He did not know where to go. His feet moved on their own. He passed a park. He stopped. Children were playing. A woman was walking her dog. An old man was feeding birds. Mark sat on a bench. He felt alone, but also calm for a moment. Then he saw something on the ground near the bench. It was an old camera. Dirty, scratched, broken strap. Mark picked it up. His heart jumped. He turned it in his hands. He pressed the button. It still worked. He looked through the lens. The world looked different. Brighter, closer, alive. Mark stood up. He took a photo of the trees, then of a child laughing, then of the old man with the birds. For the first time in a long time, Mark felt something warm inside. Hope. That evening, Mark went to a small cafe. He did not have much money, but he ordered a cheap coffee. He sat by the window and looked at his photos on the camera. "They're still good," he said quietly. A woman came to his table. "Did you take those?" she asked. Mark looked up. "Yes." "They're beautiful," she said. "You have talent." Mark did not know what to say. "No one said that to me in years," he thought. The woman smiled and walked away. Mark sat there for a long time. Maybe his life was not over. Maybe this was the start. Chapter 3. From Pain to Strength. That night, Mark walked home with the old camera in his hands. The city lights looked different now, softer, warmer. He took a few more photos on the way. A couple holding hands, a man playing guitar on the street, a cat sleeping on a car. When Mark got to his apartment, he did not turn on the TV. He sat at the small table and looked at his pictures again. "They still mean something," he said to himself. He opened his laptop. It was old and slow, but it worked. He searched, "How to sell photos online." Many pages came up. Mark felt scared, but also excited. He read and read. He learned about small websites, about stock photos, about simple profiles. He created one. Name, Mark Lewis. Bio, I love taking real photos of real life. It was simple, but it was honest. He uploaded 5 pictures. His hands were shaking when he clicked Post. "Okay," he said, "one small step." The next day at work, Mark felt different. The machines were still loud, the job was still hard, but inside something had changed. He was not just a factory worker anymore. He was a man with a plan. At lunch, Tom sat next to him again. "You look better today," Tom said. Mark smiled for real this time. "I found my camera." Tom raised his eyebrows. "Your old dream?" "Yes," Mark said. "I'm going to try again. Small steps." Tom nodded. "That's how it starts." That evening, Mark checked his profile. One person had liked his photo. One. But to Mark, it felt like 100. He sat on his bed and looked at the number again and again. "Someone saw me," he whispered. He did not know what would happen next. He still had no money, he still had 2 weeks, but now he had something else: hope. He lay down and closed his eyes. For the first time in many months, Mark fell asleep with a small smile on his face. The day everything broke was also the day something new began. Did you enjoy this episode? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check the full playlist to watch the whole series and improve your English.